Sunfire is the son of the principal, Zeus, which meant that Sunfire was a god in training. He enjoyed hanging out with his friends and is incredible at fighting, which would be put to the test. His camping trip started out a blast. They had s'mores, put out their sleeping bags, and caught giant fish in the lake nearby. Things went great, until nightfall. Sunfire noticed in the middle of the night that Moonbite went off into the woods. Everyone else was asleep, so Sunfire decided to follow him. He stopped near a broken stump and started staring at the stars. He moved closer, and a twig snapped, but it wasn't from him. It was something deeper in the forest. Then Moonbite noticed him. "Hey, Sunfire, I'm assuming that wasn't you that stepped on that branch?"
You're acting like you just didn't wander into the woods.
Sunfire said back. "What's wrong with a little stargazing?" Moonbite retorted. The forest was dark, only being illuminated by the moon and the bioluminescent mushrooms. But they could see the faint outline of a wolf caught in a very strange net. Moonbite slowly began to walk towards it. But when he was a meter away, he heard someone say,
"Don't come any closer."
He paused for a brief moment, before being hammered in the jaw by a large fist and was sent flying into one of the trees in the forest. Sunfire clenched his fists, instantly setting them ablaze, and illuminating the tall man wearing a red and black supersuit. He had long black hair and half of his face was charred black.
"Who is this guy?"
That same voice asked, this time sounding like it came from the wolf. Sunfire shrugged.
I've never seen him before.
He said.
I just hope he's tougher than those goons.
He shot a fireball towards his adversary and he dodged to the side. But that's just what Sunfire wanted. Immediately, while his back was turned, Sunfire sent a swift right hook to the villain's jaw, but unfortunately his fist went through his face. He gripped his arm and lifted him into the air. He sneered, somewhat annoyed.
"You seriously don't remember me?"
Sunfire scoffed.
I think I'd remember someone with your face.
The mysterious figure chuckled.
"Okay then, show me what you got."
He slammed him to the ground, grass and dirt flying in all directions.
So, super strength, flight, transparency? What else you got?
All of a sudden, through the forest, Moonbite sprung into the battle and began laying into their opponent. He was managing to do some damage, but the villain was just letting the hits come. He was bruised, probably even pretty injured, but he just grinned all the same. Moonbite finally pulled his punches, exhausted. He was bruised all over, but otherwise, his body was completely fine.
"Surprisingly good attempt."
Their adversary said smugly. Moonbite went in for another punch, but the villain caught his fist.
"You remind me of your mother."
Moonbite's eyes widened. "You knew her?"
"Yes, we were once great rivals, but one time... Ow!"
He yelled, turning to see the wolf clamp its jaw onto his ankle. He hollered out in anger.
"You manky butt!"
He kicked her off his leg and with his other foot, then threw Moonbite to the ground. Wolf landed across the field, mid-fall transforming into a girl around their age. She had long silver hair tied in a bun behind her head, blue and gold kimono, and observant blue eyes. Moonbite, through the pain, exclaimed, "So that's why you could talk." Sunfire leapt into action, launching flaming kicks and punches to almost no effect. Moonbite slowly got up, their shifting ally beside him. "I don't think I got your name."
"Wolfie Sierra, nice to meet you."
"Well, okay then, Wolfie. Besides becoming a wolf, any way you can help us fight this guy?" She nodded as she pressed her fingers to his arm. She breathed in slowly and silver flames emanated from her fingers. All the cuts and bruises on his arm quickly healed. "Well then," he said, rejuvenated. "That should keep us in the fight." Moonbite sprang back into action alongside Sunfire. The villain had grabbed Sunfire and was tossing him towards Moonbite, but he grabbed Sunfire, tossed him back at him. Sunfire phased through his body and attempted to hit him with a fireball. Moonbite flew at him from the other side. For a second, they had a sense of hope that they could beat this guy. Unfortunately, that hope had shattered. Their adversary grabbed Moonbite's arm and swung him at Sunfire, knocking them both to the ground. His giant fists picked them up in front of him and he sneered.
"It's been fun playing with you once more, but I'm afraid it's about time for you to die."
He slammed both his fists to the ground, crushing them against the earth. The last thing Moonbite saw before blacking out was the terrified face of Wolfie. Sunfire woke up after what felt like hours. The morning sun shone down through the tent. His head was throbbing and was wrapped in a few bandages. He recalled what happened that night. He got up, stumbling a little bit, and exited the tent. Moonbite was sitting by the fire. He wore bandages similar to his. Oh good, you're finally awake, Moonbite said, standing up to be slightly taller than Sunfire.
How'd we get back here? I thought he was gonna kill us.
Long story short, he spared us. I don't know why, but I have a hunch it has to do with the rain.
The rain?
Sunfire asked.
Why the rain?
Moonbite shrugged. Apparently, while we were out cold, it began to rain. Wolfie said he began to spaz out as the rain touched him. He turned around and folded up his chair.
What happened to Wolfie? I don't see her anywhere.
Moonbite put the folded up chair in the back of his car as he said, Don't entirely know. Apparently the others say she's from our school. My best guess is she's gone home. He loaded the chair into his car and began folding up the second. One final memory popped into Sunfire's head. He asked,
What were you doing in the forest? In the first place?
Moonbite paused for a minute before finally saying, I was checking up on my sister Moonlight. I left someone to take care of her, but I don't usually leave her alone for more than a few hours. I at least trust my friend Juniper to look after her well, but I guess you could say I was scared. He folded the chair he was holding and put it back of the car as he continued. The last group of people I knew never liked when someone showed weakness. I learned that the hard way. I guess I thought you would do the same. Sunfire shrugged.
I'd get it. I'd feel the same in your shoes. I've a younger sister too. We don't get along a whole lot, but I want her to be safe. I don't think anyone here at this campsite would disagree with me on that. Just focus on training for the future, fights at hand, because I know that guy's gonna come after us again.
Moonbite smirked. Okay, but you gotta be more careful about not destroying buildings. My boss can't keep paying for collateral damages during bank robberies. Don't entirely know. Apparently there's a blooper right there.
I'll make you say how proud you are of me. So stay awake just long enough to see my way.
Thank you guys for watching and subscribe if you actually enjoyed this series and share it with others who might also enjoy it. Comment who your favorite character is and if you like the voice acting and you have seen the whole series. One of my voice actor friends, Nox Can't See, is creating his own story with voice acting and I'm part of it. Although I ain't in any episodes yet for now. I'll see you guys later.